Welcome back to Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, Classic Last Known Classics. This is episode number 1954 and Doubleshot number 1858. Two trades for Power Rangers. First up it is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Volume 8, collecting issues 29 to 30 of the main series, plus the finale for the Shattered Grid crossover. Now, next trade is going to be discussing the Go-Go Power Rangers, their perspective, what they were up to, what that series was. Well, I'll get to it. This input is wrapping up this particular story. They do have the first, in a way, they do bring up Terra Venture in here, which apparently Grace ended up designing Terra Venture. Like, that was an interesting retcon. And, of course, Corone, like, oh, you built Terra Ventures? Like, so that's what they're going to call it. She apparently had no idea. Like, she knew about Terra Venture's existence. She knew about that. She did not know it was going to be called Terra Venture. Like, that's interesting. And also the fact that the only way to stop Lord Dragon is to make an alliance with Repulsa because, of course, his powers are connected to her magic. Interesting. That's a very interesting idea. And at one point, he ends up in Ultra Reality where he sort of won with some of the Rangers, and eventually the other Rangers get their memories back, and Tommy, who was supposedly killed off this crossover, he's revealed to be alive and well, and wakes everybody's memories up, and then we unlock something related to the grid, which have been shattered thanks to him, where they basically, we have these special defense stuff that basically shapeshift into any Ranger form throughout the entirety of Ranger history, and we see appearance by every single Ranger in existence. Now, in the case of one team, we actually do not see this team at all. We see one of the Rangers from this team, Power Ranger Zeo. Well, there actually is a very good reason for that, because the main 5 Rangers are mostly from Mighty Morphin era. We see basically from them. We see one of the Space Rangers. For Lost Galaxy, we just see Corome, and that's it. For Lights Rescue, we see Carter, and I think Carter's the only one we see there, which I think that's interesting. For Time Force, it's just Jen. The later her team probably does come back. Wild Force, we do kind of see them. They don't really do anything at all. We do appearances by Ninja Storm, Dino Thunder. SPD plays a really big role in this story, where we see Doggy Kruger interacting with Zordon, which is so awesome. 2 of the best mentors ever in the history of the franchise of Power Rangers interact with each other and working together is so awesome. Despite the fact SPD in the main series is set in the future. Yes, I think it's 2025, which is actually about 3 years from now. Yes, they apparently don't have Jungle Fury here. Yeah, Jungle Fury is nowhere to be seen. Okay, well, Mystic Force, they're actually not seen here either. We do see appearances by the RPM Rangers. Awesome to see them. In the case of the New Era one, Neo Saban, well, Samurai, Megaforce. Su Megaforce, not really per se. The suits don't really... I think the way the suits, they actually don't make appearances here at all. We do see Downcharge, and apparently Ninja Steel. Yes, Ninja Steel gets involved with this story. Excuse me. I also heard a rumor that apparently the tabletop podcast series Hyperforce is involved with this team, which is interesting to say the least. Yep. But this main book is awesome. I give this book a 10 out of 10. It's really good. Kyle Higgins himself does an absolute great job. I forgot to mention in the last video, there's actually a backup feature in this book. They also have care of the last trade. It's the Adventures of Blue Centaurian and Ninjor. Yes. 2 supporting characters from 2 different series. Now, Blue Centaurian is from Power Rangers Turbo. A series, a Power Rangers season that is not... It does have... It's sort of a... the movie that started off is a guilty pleasure of mine. But the thing itself is not popular with a lot of fans. They consider it one of the worst seasons of Power Rangers. Not as bad as some later seasons, but probably they probably consider the lowest rated of the original Saban era series. In the case of Ninjor, he's from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Season 3. Also, there is one or two who do not make appearances crossover, the Alien Rangers, aka the Cocker Rangers. Yes, I still need to review that at some point for my Super Sentai review series. Now, in case you're curious, though, like you might be asking what series I'm going to review when I finish up Go Ranger. Not going to say yet. I'll review that when I review the final episode of it. It's a lot shorter than Go Ranger, and I'll review it at that point. I'm not reviewing it right now. It'll be done at that point. They do mention that apparently that Draken had captured the Ninja Steel and melted their metal. Well, one of the Ninja Steel Rangers apparently has got like a weird like Lenny beard. I don't remember him. I remember his character in the show. Yeah, Down Charge does play a small role in the story, and we even have it where Kaya, I believe her name is, from Down Thunder. She plays a role in the story. I mean, heck, they even have a massive sequence, which we actually never saw something like this in the main series. We have characters interact with each other more than like a couple freaking lines. I also have a massive fight sequence against the force of Lord Dragon. Too bad we couldn't see this from Mega War. Yes, where like Tommy has got all the freaking lines, and like anyone else who speaks got 1-2 lines. Wes Collins had got one line the entire story, and Dimension of Danger did a lot better job with him there than Mega 4. Yes. Wes himself does briefly at the start of the story, but he does not appear overall at the main part. But this part is... Oh, by the way, in case you're curious, so who does write the backup story? It's Double by Mike Costa. Yep. But it is an overall really fun book, and I do thoroughly enjoy it. If you want to check out Shadow Grid, if you're a big Power Rangers fan, this is definitely a crossover for you. Alright, next up, it is going to be Saban's Go Power Rangers Volume 3 Shattered Grid. Now, the thing with this series is I'm not really a big fan of this particular concept for this series. Every trade has got 4 issues, and that's it. They can't contain any more than that. Mighty Morphin Rangers did do this at first, though I think increased later on. Mostly put it's the Ranger Slayer, who does appear in the main story, except her role is a very small person. This basically explains where she had disappeared to. She ended up just prior to Tommy showing up in the series, where you have them beating the pig monster. Remember that monster from the main series? I remember him. I don't remember who voiced him in the show, but he did appear in here. Like, oh, I mentioned about the Soup Buddy in here. We also have Rita going to this temporary pulse in the story, where, get this is where she gets the green dragon coin that we see in the main show. This is where she gets it. I'm like, okay, interesting. I love the fact, basically, we're having this book leading to the Green Flamingo stuff. The main series is set just after that crossover, that big epic story wrapped up. Here, basically built to it all, but what it is, and we also have it where Kimberly. We have it where by the way, the Ranger Slayer is actually Kimberly. Yes, and Dragon himself doesn't really play a really big role in the Go-Go Power Rangers issues. Not at all. As a matter of fact, I think he appears twice over the course of the 4 issues, though the ending does set the very next tree, which we'll discuss in the following Comic Corner. We also have one of the most oddest things happen in this book, where Zach and Trini swap colors. Yes, seriously, that's what happens in this book. I actually think it happens afterwards. But this, very good. Ryan Pritt does an absolute great job with it. And the covers, like usual, do homages to basically like popular movie posters. This one here, for issue number 9. I'm not really sure with this one. If anybody can figure out what this one is, please leave a comment as well. It's not... Oh, I think I do know what this one's referencing. Rocket Man. Yeah, that's what I want to referencing. It's referencing Rocket Man. Usually it's 80s or 90s posters that it tends to reference. Okay, what about issue 10? 10 is Fear Spirit's Day Up. Oh, yes. We do see of how in the book... Now, if you remember from the show, Billy drove a Volkswagen, which is called the Bug. These issues basically explain how he gets it. His father basically bought it, and he mentions that Billy is the smartest person he knows. He can fix it. Like, okay, very cool. I like that. And also stuff here with Jason here, who apparently takes time off from training in order to take care of his father, who apparently is dying. Oop. Let's see. Issue 10. The only thing I can personally think of with this one is just with the style. It reminds me of Army of Darkness in a way. Yeah, this reminds me of Army of Darkness. If you all think I'm wrong, please let us in the comments below. Alright, and that was issue 10. For issue number 11. This one's a bit obvious. This one is The Goonies. Yeah, this one's The Goonies. That's what this one is. You might think, oh, is Miss American famous thing? No, it's actually The Goonies. That's what this is referencing. Yeah, the freaking Goonies. That's issue 12 is referencing. Yes. And that's it. That's it for you. Yep, and that's going to be pretty much it for Stickler Review. Stay tuned for 2 more Comic Corners, and then next will be The Great Joe and Defeated. Okay, next video. Bye.